What if anti-aging actually makes us age faster? Today, I'm going to share why constantly striving to look younger might actually be working against us, and how we can shift the perspective from chasing beauty to attracting beauty. We've been conditioned to believe that youth and beauty is something that we have to hold on to. And somehow, if we're not fighting aging, we're falling behind. The beauty industry is a huge industry that really perpetuates this idea that we have to look a certain way, that we have to look young and youthful. All these procedures of anti-aging procedures and treatments and products, it has this idea that we have to fight against something. And it's a huge industry that is making tons and tons of money on our insecurities. I really feel that when we're chasing something, when we're trying to attain something, it comes from a place of fear. And I think that for myself, the more I try to chase something, the more stressed I feel and the more, I don't know, disempowered I feel. Because I feel like it's not a very empowering approach to go about life. Always feeling like you're never enough, that you're constantly striving for something better and more youthful. And what if we changed this whole narrative and really coming from a place of love as opposed to fear, and really, instead of constantly kind of chasing youth, we're focusing on attracting beauty. And maybe that beauty really comes from within, as cliche as it sounds, but maybe it's about more presence, more connection. We spend so much time on our skincare procedures and skincare products, slapping out some skincare and, kind of heading out the door, thinking that that's going to solve our problems, right? But what if it's really about sitting down, connecting with ourselves, massaging some face oil into our skin, and really taking some time to really connect with ourselves, taking a couple nice deep breaths and just really feeling into our skin with our hands here. The hands are the most powerful tools of all. And I really feel like what's made such a big difference in my own life is really just taking some time to massage my skin here, feeling where the tension is. Taking a couple nice deep breaths and just massaging and spending some time with my skin, tuning into how I feel. And I really feel like the most radiant people I've ever met or really came across is not the ones that are the youngest or have the perfect skin or the perfect face. It's really so much more than that. The most beautiful people I've ever met are the ones that have a certain kind of energy about them that really kind of their energy and their beauty kind of shine through, and you kind of see it in their face. It's more of an energy thing as opposed to a pure aesthetic thing. So I really think that beauty is not something you have to chase, and it's not about something we have to do more of, like more procedures, more treatments, more skincare, more. Maybe it's about quite the opposite. Maybe it's about less. Maybe it's about tuning out all of that noise and really connecting with our own mind, our own self, our own skin, and really feeling into ourselves more, and really making sure that we feel good, because maybe when we feel good, that energy kind of shines through. Therefore, we feel more beautiful, and therefore we look more beautiful. Have you ever noticed that when you feel good, you actually feel like you look better too? And that is really how I see it. It's a connection there. Like we are so focused on the outer, but in fact, there's so much in feeling good and really nurturing our own self by connecting with ourselves. Aging is inevitable, but we can change the narrative of having beauty and youth as something that we have to acquire, something we have to attain, and realize that it's already within us. and that beauty has nothing to do with age and how youthful you look. It's an energy and something that we can allow to become bigger when we are taking the time to connect with ourselves, with our skin, and our own sense of being. Something I also kind of wanted to share that I think is important is that, when we look in the mirror, we're so conditioned to see the wrinkles, see the lines, and of course, social media and all these different advertising is constantly showing us that we need to change, that we need to look more youthful, that our skin needs to look a certain way. So we have been conditioned to look in the mirror and see the flaws, to see the problems. And I really want to encourage you to change the perspective and change the narrative, that next time you look in the mirror, focus on the things that you love about your skin, what you love about your face, and really connect with that and really get into the mindset of focusing on what you appreciate about yourself and what you love about yourself. Because I think that when we switch that little thing, it's a very subtle thing, but I think when we start focusing on what it is that we love, we are changing our brain and our mind and our chemistry to really see more of the good, because we have been so conditioned to see the flaws and the bad, and that is what actually perpetuates this idea that we need to chase something, that there's something that we don't have right now that we need to gain, something we have to look for, to chase, to attract. So by realizing that actually everything that we want is already within us, it's just a change in perspective. So when you look in the mirror, take some moment to think, what is it that I love about my skin? Is my skin clear today? Am I feeling really rosy and glowy? How's my, think about the things that you love about your skin, and do this every single day when you go into the mirror, and focus on what it is that you love, because that will subtly but eventually start shifting. So you'll start feeling good about what it is that you see in the mirror, as opposed to the opposite. And this is really an important step, I think, in terms of how to connect with yourself and feel good about yourself. And then, of course, taking the time to massage your skin, taking some time to connect and releasing tension and focusing on feeling good in our skin. This is a major component of also looking, I'm gonna say look better and look more healthy as opposed to youthful, because beauty doesn't equal youthful. Beauty is an energy thing. It's more about how you feel and how you show up in the world and the energy that you give out. And I think the more we kind of shift the narrative here and focusing on the things that we do love about ourselves, make us feel good about ourselves, that is what's really changing, and that is really what beautiful really is to me. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever felt pressured by the idea of anti-aging? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, you might like my other video here, my own holistic beauty journey. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.